Hi, I'm Chris from Gears and Queers.
And I'm Chris from Sparkplug TV.
And this is Fun Girly Car Time.
Welcome back to another jam-packed episode of Fun Girly Car Time with Chris L and Chris K.
I feel like you just single-handedly set gay rights.
Did you like my radio impression? Oh God, it's frozen. Hello?
You're frozen when your heart's not open.
Did you like my radio impersonation?
Like is a strong word. Though actually I am impressed by your ability to code switch so shockingly and so totally.
Thank you so much.
Like you're wearing a backwards hat right now too. Actually, I think it came from the hat. I think it's like the mask. You know how Jim Carrey puts that on and he's like, you know.
It's the backwards hat. It's how I pass as straight, yeah.
Are you wearing plaid boxers?
I'm wearing no underwear.
Balance. Life is all about balance. I'm not wearing pants, so I guess we are
okay. And you're wearing a very lovely shirt. I do love that shirt. Yeah, oh my gosh. Hello, listeners. It's been so long.
It's been so long. Hi, listener girlies.
Oh my goodness. We are so sorry that we have been gone. I was at the New York International Auto Show last week, so I was incapacitated.
Because you were sucking some, D, as the girls call it.
It was one penis in my pod hotel.
You managed to fit two 6-foot, 4 and 5 inch people into a pod hotel so you could fellate.
I did, yes. I hope my mom's not listening to this.
Never say this woman is not motivated. She is determined. She is adaptive, and she will overcome.
She will.
So, enough about dick and cock for at least the present moment.
Yes.
What card or experience or whatever? What was the best part of the show?
What was the best part of the show? All of the import vehicles were taking center stage of that whole thing. Specifically, Nissan and Infiniti. When Infiniti has not been there. I don't know. I guess I've only been to these shows for 2 years. But I mean, the last year that I went to all 3 shows that I went to, I didn't see Infiniti at a single one of them. And so Infiniti finally they debuted the QX80. And so I could not for the fucking life of me on day one get up close and personal to that QX80 because people were mobbing it.
Really?
Oh my God. It was like the biggest, people were like, the Polestar 3 and 4 got revealed and people were like,
Infiniti hasn't, other than the QX60, I must credit that, in the last 15 fucking years, they have not released a new, and this is also still on the same body that's been globally available since the early 2000s. But it was about the fuck time. What do you think about it? I'll hold my tongue until you tell me what you think. But
okay. Well, I don't think it looks good in pictures. I don't think that it photographs well. I think that it looks good in certain lights and certain pictures, the way that Infiniti wants to do it. It's not flattering at certain angles and certain lighting. Regardless, it looks better in person. It looks a lot better in person. I like the front end. There are 2 new trends in the automotive industry right now that Hyundai and Kia are at fault for, which is the separation between church and state. I mean, daytime running lights and
right, with the headlight being lower and then the upper part's a turn signal or something.
Yeah, and so we can thank Hyundai and Kia for that because literally every single fucking brand is doing it now. And then I don't know who implemented the piano gloss black singular piece across the back. I don't know who implemented that. But that's also another trend. So a couple of years ago it was black wheels and now it's just those 2 things. The
Jeep, what was it? The Cherokee, not the Grand Cherokee, that came out in a year. You know what I'm talking about.
I guess technically it was the Jeep Cherokee that did that first, maybe.
Was she the first? I don't know. Maybe. I'm trying to think. Was there another? Because obviously Hyundai and Kia have been doing it in to death, but like the Invista and the Trax do the same thing. That's a pretty new design that we've talked about at length. And like I did notice that when the Infinity was released as well. And it's like I wonder if, because like I know that headlamp assemblies on cars have gotten horrifyingly expensive. Like as like the LED technology, the active curve, like all that shit. You put that into one unit,
it's like between $4,000 to $10,000 to like if something fucks up on it.
So like I have literally no idea if this is true or not. This is pure and utter speculation on my part. Like, is it cheaper to have just like the light module and then like the DRL turn signal or whatever, what have you, separate?
Technical. I'm horny.
I would like to know if you listeners, if you are intimately aware of this new trend in automotive lighting, I would love to know.
Yeah, that is an interesting thought. That would make the most sense because obviously like they're smaller, less powerful LED lights for the daytime running lights than they would be for like the actual headlamp and
well, it's also like
high
if you
beam
like
situation.
get a fender bender and you know instead of taking out a $3,000 headlight and one little oops, maybe it's $1,000. I don't fucking know.
Well, yeah, like my grandma, I can't remember what happened. She had to get new LED headlamps in her car and her SRX, and it was $4,000 for those, and they weren't even pointing in the, and it was like a 2012, I think. I don't know, but regardless, it still looks like a QX80. It's like it's not so crazy that it doesn't look like a QX80. It looks like one. The V8 is gone, and now it is replaced with a twin turbo V6. It makes 50 more horsepower. Comes in rear or all-wheel drive. Comes with a 9-speed automatic transmission. I don't like the back end in pictures or in person. The back end is so ugly to me. They call it piano key lighting signature. It's fucking ugly. It's like staggered. It's like the staggered lamps situation that they've got in the front and in the back. It looks good in the front application because it's like smaller.
I know what you're talking about.
And then, but then the back is just like, it's just not, it just doesn't look as good. It's got an air spring suspension. So I saw the Autograph, and that was the top of the line. Obviously, like they're going to showcase that. It was $112,000 starting for the Autograph, but it starts around 84, which is still a lot.
That's a bargain. Wow, they're really going for the loss leader. They're really like, here's your $20 oil change.
Right. The interior was definitely the best part of it. It was gorgeous on the inside, and it was screens and screens galore, you know, and then like it had, you know, a dynamic kind of like whoosh wind kind of like infinity logo across the dashboard, and then like there's a horizon on the back of the gauge cluster and the meter display and the infotainment screen that changes during the daytime and the nighttime, and it goes from dawn into dusk, and it's like, girl, I'm driving. What the fuck do I care? Like,
no, literally, like from pictures I've seen, that interior does look very nice. I feel like they really cranked their pussies up on like the luxury aspect. But like to your point, like, what if, and hear me out, the gauges just showed you what the fuck speed you were going and maybe what the engine was doing? Like, why? It does not need to be a fucking THX certified gauge cluster. Like, also, like,
THX certified gauge cluster.
But like, I'm serious. What is this shit? Like, and when I drive newer cars, again, we all know Christopher has ancient vehicles. It's like there's so much goddamn backlighting pointing directly at your eyes from all these screens.
Yeah.
It's like I need that shit to be near off. Like Sob Night panel. Bring that back. Just like you were going 11.
Yeah.
Or whatever the fuck you're doing.
Yeah,
like,
no,
it pisses me off.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, especially after being in that EQS, like, or the EQE, I don't even know. That was just so distracting, and I wasn't even driving. It was just so light coming from the dashboard. And so it's a 3-row SUV, and you can configure it to have 7 or 8 passenger. Obviously, because it was the autograph, it was a 7 passenger because it had the center console with like the command station. And it has biometric scanning HVAC controls.
So it's like that bitch has a fever. I'm going to blow some cold air at her.
We're going to blast 60 and under like air at them.
The QX80 is going to know about the next COVID wave before any of you bitches. Okay. Do other cars have that? That's fucking, I feel like
I've never heard of anything having that before, and I think
does the bitch have a lie detector built in too? Like, what the fuck is this?
Probably massage chairs in both the front and the back and the second row.
Ooh.
And power adjustable. Another big trend going on in the luxury segment is power adjustable back seats,
like second row.
Yeah.
You see, I kind of love that though, because it seems like that was a thing only in like ultra luxury vehicles, like in, not too distant past. But like the fact that like, remember when I was incredulous that Lexus RX had heated and cooled rear seats, second row, and it's like a lot of the rear seats getting some love now. Like you're telling me she's got massage, she's got everything like adjustable. Like give me that quilted pillow, or was that the Chrysler Pacifica Pinnacle? Give me a minivan with too much shit in the back seat.
Probably the Pacifica, yeah.
Whatever. Cunty minivans.
So, and
I'm
then
interested.
finally, the third row was also the back rest was power adjustable, and they were heated in the third row.
The third row?
Heated seats in the third row.
Has that been done before?
Apparently, yes. According to my brother, apparently the QX80 has had it before. And I don't know if it's been in any other cars, like the Escalade or like whatever, but like apparently that is in the outgoing generation.
That's kind of fascinating. They really said, we're going to give you everything in this car to distract from the fact that there are parts of it that have not been changed since 2004.
Well, yeah, for the outgoing gen, yes.
Yeah. No, you see, like as we know, I used to have a G35 in 2007, and I was not very often, like when I lived in an apartment, I would take my car to the dealer for oil changes, and I like was there from time to time, like I would get my tires and shit done there, and it was just the same fucking cars every goddamn time, right? Like there was no new like model out in the showroom or anything. It was just like we forgot we've been making the Q50. Here's another one. And like I don't know, like it kind of is just exciting to me that like, and I am so sure that Infinity's salespeople are like, thank God we have something like we have the QX60, we have this new QX80 to like really get people like excited about the brand again, because like Infinity was serving dumb amounts of cunt and pussy in the early 2000s. The original G, the FX, Miss Bionic Cheetah, like come on, the M45. Yeah. We know you can do it, girl.
Yeah, no, totally. I agree. And then what is the sedan even called? Is the sedan called the G35? It's like their sedan is, or is it the Q35?
It's the Q50. They did Q50. Away with the G and all the other names a while ago.
The Q50 is like the forerunner of Infinity. It's been around since 2009, and it's been on the same fucking platform and the same car for like 10 plus
since
years.
2014, but what's 5 years?
Whatever. It's still a long time.
That's a decade. That is literally 10 fucking years.
Yeah, it's still a long fucking time.
And they're like, we added CarPlay.
Right. We added a secondary screen under the infotainment. Ooh, for HVAC. But meanwhile, fucking Hyundai can't stop themselves from updating their cars every 4 fucking years. The Tucson and the Santa Cruz are starting to look a little different in their like front fascias. The Tucson's is a little more oval like in that silly in that silly lighting design, and then the Santa Cruz's is a bit more rigid for that off-road mask for mask to fucking look.
Yeah, I like
for that backwards hat look.
It's giving backwards hat. Yes, they're like
yeah.
Anky. One thing that I really wish for Hyundai/Kia to get a goddamn grip on, and I hope that they have in the past couple of years, is the whole exploding engine and transmission thing.
Oh,
Like,
sure.
I know.
Sure.
I know, dear viewers, dear beautiful, sweet, majestic viewers, that they do make engines and transmissions that don't explode, but they've also made a goddamn lot of ones that do. And that bothers me because I do think otherwise they make very compelling products.
What was the nomenclature on that one that just like excessively exploded?
The Theta 2 engine.
Yes.
The one that was in lots of Sonatas and Optimas. And just like, you can literally like, and she isn't the only engine that is known to start chomping on some oil, but since she is the object of my current fascination, like you can maintain that bitch to a T. You can over maintain that bitch, and still one day she might just be like, oops.
No, but so yeah, I mean, last year was all about Ford and Toyota and even Chevy to some degree, like with the E-Ray and then like all their EV products. But this year has been all about Genesis, Hyundai, Kia, Polestar, Infiniti, Nissan. So it's like, they're up for doing all the releases and stuff. And Toyota will actually Toyota is dropping the 4Runner this month.
She did do a little tease
because she teased us, gal.
Toyota's edging us with the 4Runner.
Again, 2000. That has most definitely been around since 2009.
The current 4Runner has the same amount of forward gear ratios as my 1999 Mercedes-Benz ML320. Moving on.
Right. I'm curious to see where that's, and I'm sure everybody thinks the same about this, but like, I'm curious to see where it will be placed within the Land Cruiser, because the Land Cruiser is like gonna be they can't be that much bigger or smaller than each other.
That is true, because like Land Cruiser got quite a bit smaller than people were expecting. But I mean, like 4Runner has such brand equity. I would just be like appalled if they really like fucked with that, like made it too stark of a difference from what's currently selling, because they're still flying off the fucking shelves, right? Like people want them.
My old hairdresser actually bought a brand new, and I'm using air quotes, brand new 4Runner.
New old stock.
Like fucking like 6 months ago. I saw her post it. She was like, I bought a brand new 4Runner. And I was like, oh my God, you bought a 15-year-old car.
But like, here's the thing. I feel like if you and I have not talked about this before on the pod, I have definitely said this before. I've actually said this about Infiniti. As I just spent many a breath berating them for this. Tell me you haven't heard a car enthusiast before be like, man, this is like newfangled shit, like blah, turbocharged, blah, all these fucking gear ratios, all these screens everywhere. Okay.
Are you listening in on conversations with my brother and I? Because of my brother.
But like,
and my dad.
Toyota is making the car you want still with none of that. Infiniti is making the car you want still, well, like to an extent. So it's just interesting, because it's like we can, on one hand, berate these manufacturers for like not coming out with a fresh product like every 13 and a half minutes. And it's like, but on the other hand, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like it's so fascinating to me how like the 4Runner has just been like, well, y'all gonna keep buying it. You want it.
You want an HD surround view camera? You want a trail cam? I say all of this, but the reality is, I would actually also, if I had the money, I would also buy one. I like them too, because those like, and I even tell the Toyota people to their face, out of all the Toyotas that have ever been made, like the 4Runner has always been that girl to me. Like it has always been that girl, and I don't know why. I don't know what it is about it. I think because it was just a cooler, smaller, more accessible, off-roading capable thing. Whereas like, my Tahoe at the time, like it was huge, and I mean I loved it, but it was fucking huge. And like, but the 4Runner is like, it's perfect. It's the perfect size. It's got the perfect engine output, and
well, see, like this is the thing too, because it's like, the current, Forerunners are not masters of fuel economy. But it's
Not
an
in the
engine
slightest.
that is like understood. It's a platform that is understood. These bitches are legendary for their reliability. The generations back, same thing. They hold their value. Like it is so obvious, like why they're desirable, right? Like I love a Forerunner too. Like I often joke that the ML is a German Forerunner because like I do see some parallels in like
Yeah.
the way that they're built and
Yeah.
stuff. But it's just like imagine you are the team, and it's like this is what I think about for like think about you are the team and you have the Toyota Camry or like the Honda Accord or like a very very volume vehicle that means like so much to your company, like Toyota Forerunner, and
Right.
they're like RuPaul. They're like, good luck and don't fuck it up. Like,
Right.
what do you do? Because it's like you have to differentiate it, or it's not new enough. But also, if it's too new, then you like alienate all your people that have been buying your prehistoric SUV. It's fascinating to me, and I can't pretend like I would know what to do, but I'm gonna talk about it critically nonetheless.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one because it really is a special car to me. And I mean, again, like if the market for them weren't so insane, like I would totally buy one, and outfit it and be annoying and put a lift kit on it. And like, cause I love them. They've got a new enough technology in them that like, I don't care. I mean, yes, the trail cam is grainy, and yes, the button, the dials are from 2010, but like, it still just is. I just love it.
It's like a familiar friend.
Yeah, and so I think all of us are, really holding our collective breath as to like what is about to drop, because we're just like it is such a they've waited too long. It's been too long, and it's like and so much has changed since the generation came out, that it's like what
we're
are they
all significantly more traumatized,
right? And so this might be another traumatizing event. But I hope not.
If the new Forerunner is a letdown, we might not make it. At what point do we say enough is enough? What if the new Forerunner comes out and it's got like pillar to pillar screens?
Oh my god!
And it's like a pure EV. It's like a pure EV that gets like,
and it's like level 1 autonomous driving.
like I'm just envisioning it like being the actual antithesis of what the current one is, and like I don't know. I don't.
No, yeah, it's so funny. I mean, they're obviously not going to do that, but like,
right.
Yeah. Anyway. So speaking of cars, old stock, new cars, old. So what was that saying?
New old stock cars.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I bought a new car.
Yes, you did. I can't believe it's taken us this long to talk about her.
Well, the last episode we did with Logan was like 3 weeks ago. So like,
That's true.
I bought it like last week. So kings, queens, and everyone in between, I bought a 2004 Buick LeSabre custom.
Custom. What does that mean? Do we know what that means?
It means it's the base level.
Oh, really?
It's a base model.
The boy I dated in high school, I know I've talked about him before. His dad had a used car lot. And I remember one time, because they would like rotate the car that they drove like every week. And it was like early 2000. It was probably the same fucking year as yours. LeSabre Custom. And I remember that bitch was it was like white over gray. And she just was like large and in charge. But I want to commend you for something. I know I've said this to you privately, but like many moons ago, on which episode I could not tell you, we were discussing what you would buy if you wanted to buy a cheap, reliable old car. And I think verbatim, I said a Buick with a 3800, and you literally said, bet. And you went and got you a Buick with a 3800.
Wow, I didn't know that was a thing that you said. Oh, wait, maybe you did. Yes, I did. Maybe I do remember you saying that. But yeah, I did. I ponied up. and it's got a tufted headliner with staples, with a staple gun.
That's luxury. That is peak
You know?
luxury.
I'm gonna take some E6000 and fucking bedazzle the shit out of it and make it like a Rolls Royce. Like,
Oh my god, please just like bedazzle like little like everything, just like diamond encrust that bitch. She's only got like 100-something thousand miles, right? Like not much.
she's got 152,000 miles.
Okay, well my car in the next 4 days is gonna roll 250. So to me that's basically
that's
like
right.
3.
I know. Well, yeah. So, and the 3800 will go to like 300,000 miles.
She will outlast God herself. And you've already like done like stage 0 maintenance on like everything, right?
Stage 0, stage 1, 2, 3, and 4.
You literally what did you did everything.
I've replaced the spark plugs. I have replaced the serpentine belt. I flushed the radiator. I changed the oil. I am doing the transmission fluid and filter at some point. Over here in a box over here in the corner are 2 sets of brake pads and rotors that I have to do. And then what else do we have to do?
Air filter, air filter.
I already did the air filter, did the cabin air filter. Did like literally like $400 in parts and probably $3,000 in maintenance for free. So
no, literally like that. I want to be taken as good of care of as her. Like I want to be reincarnated as a car that I myself maintain, or like some other neurotic faggot, because like we all deserve that.
And I did most of it myself. My dad helped me flush the radiator because he had to find the petcock. The word petcock came back into my life.
You had to say it in front of your father.
I sure did. I was like, Dad, where's the petcock? So he helped me do that. She was a thirsty girl. It was they didn't have the correct coolant in it. The brake fluid looks like chocolate. The brake pads are probably the original brake pads. And the spark plugs were also probably the original spark plugs because they were crusty.
I bet that bitch cranked right the fuck up when she got those new ones in though.
I breathed new life into her for sure.
Isn't that so satisfying too though? Because you're like, this car ran fine, and then you just like here's some parts, and then she's like, I owe you my life.
No, literally, and honestly, I am upset. But they did have the wherewithal to at least replace the rear shocks. They're brand new rear shocks.
Okay.
And there's nothing wrong with the frame. There's a little bit of crack on the front bumper, like the clear coat cracked, and then the undercoat cracked with it,
like from like tapping something where it like spiderweb cracks.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I am a neurotic faggot, like you said, and I want to change and replace everything. I literally went to a full service junkyard because they had 3 LeSabres on the lot. And one of them had a bumper that was worse off than the one that I have. So I didn't opt for it, but I don't know. I know it was like a $3,600 car, but I want to make it look brand new.
You see, now, do you understand me now? Do you understand why I'm like this? Because
I do, because I love it. I love this car.
But it's like you get to drive, like you are driving a new vehicle so
brand
often.
New.
And
yes.
Miss Buick is like, I want to be semi-retired and I can just hang out, but I can also just serve cunt and get like 30 mpg.
I am shocked and amazed at how smooth it accelerates, how smooth it is on the road.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
They're amazing. I don't know why they weren't more popular.
Does the LeSabre have the thing where you do the volume on the steering wheel and like the knob rotates on the radio? I know some older Buicks did that.
No, but it does have Twilight mode where
Twilight Sentinel?
Yes, where you can customize when it comes on, like the headlamps.
Yes. God, I love those things.
I don't think it actually works, but I tried to test it today and it didn't really work.
Oh, well. She needs a new little light sensor or something.
I don't owe anybody an explanation as to why I did this, but I did do it just because, like, I was tired of a car payment. Like, I don't need a car. I drive a new car every week. What do I need a brand new car for? Like, and this way, like, honestly, like, I'm not the most mechanically inclined, but I'm starting to become mechanically inclined because I kind of know how to do shit now. Yeah. And so, yeah.
But girl, like literally in what you just said is like so critical, because I feel like a lot of people do feel compelled, whether they have mechanical ability or not, they feel compelled to have a brand new car or like a nearly new car. And
Right.
like, don't get me wrong, I see the value in that. I see the value in not only owning cars with mileages, 6-digit mileages that begin with a 2. But like, there is also something so freeing, like especially in your case where you were like, all right, payment gone. I have this car known for its reliability. I know how to work on it. It's well documented how to work on this bitch. Parts, throw a wrench and you can find a 3800 or like a 4T65E or whatever the fuck it has for a transmission. You'll find it. Like, it's out there, right?
Right.
And so now you can spend that money on something else. Like, it.
No, literally, I can like save for a fucking house. I can like, do things that I want to do. And not to say that I like couldn't afford a car payment. I just like didn't want it. Like,
There's a difference between, like, I've been saying this for years. Like, your girl could go out and buy a car, but I don't want one that bad.
Well, and plus too, it's just got so much character. I mean, it has got so much fucking character, and like,
and
it's cunty, and I just like. I just love it, and it's got a humongous trunk. And
does she have a name?
3800. Becky the Buick.
Becky the Buick. Oh,
Becky
you need the custom
Buick.
vanity plate. You should just like get like BECKY.
I should, because I don't want to get a front plate, because actually the front part of the plate holder of the bumper is really cunty. It says Buick on it. In like really cunty lettering.
I need to Google this. You said 2004, right?
Yeah, they're the same from like 2004 to 2005, I think.
Literally, it's like this is what you bitches think you're doing cottage core and grandma core, and you have not met Miss Buick LeSabre. Could you get these with the supercharged one?
That I couldn't tell you.
Is that what that is? Because there was a supercharged 3800. It made like 35 more horsepower. It wasn't like groundbreaking.
Right, sure.
But the fact that like a literal grandma car that you could just pop the hood open and there was a fucking Eaton Roots type supercharger glued onto that bitch does something to me.
Honestly, I mean, again, for 2004, I mean, it had like this red one is kind of cunty.
That's the one I was like, that's what I was thinking. Like, did you just Google that and you saw the red one and I was just like, Miss Girl.
Yeah. So mine's silver, and the silver one's like classy.
Yeah.
But the red one is definitely a serve.
I feel like you do see a lot of the silver or the white.
I saw a white one today, actually.
Oh my god, did you like?
I wanted to wave. I wanted to be like,
and they're like, "What is the fuck wrong with this motherfucker?"
I need to start a Buick LeSabre wave.
This podcast has become very pro Buick recently. Is it because I turned 30?
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's because why?
Because I turned 30.
Probably. Wow. So you're saying that 30 is old, and I'm 32.
You're older than old.
Wow. I'm ancient.
Gainchent. Oh, my God.
So you're doing a fun girly car thing this weekend.
Sure the fuck am, Miss Girl. So it will be the second Hot Cars and Iced Coffee, and in a much different way than the first. This one is actually an additional event to one of the Out Motorsports Rainbow Road track crosses held by our good Judy, Miss Thievis. And so, also, a fun little thing. This is the first time he's ever sold out a track cross. Like, they've had to be like, no more of you bitches can register. We are literally full. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So while that is going on Saturday, because that's a 2-day event, Saturday midday we have a car show only area. We've got like some Porsches, like newer Porsches, like an older Dodge Charger. I'm bringing Miss ML. She'll be there again to serve. Absolute pussy and cunt. And it's like, it's probably not going to be anywhere near as big as like this, as the first one was, but like, I'm just excited that like, it's more opportunities for people to show up and show out at these kinds of things, and like doing it with one of our girlies. Like, I'm so excited. And like Miss Belasca's going, she's bringing her Miata that she bought from my other good Judy Newell.
Belasca's going. God damn it. I really wish I was going.
But like, I don't blame you because, like, girl, I had to take Friday off. I had to take Monday off. I'm driving for 10 fucking hours. Like, obviously it's worth it to me, but it's just like, girl, did you realize West Virginia was so far?
But yeah, no, I wish I could go, but I just have spent entirely too much money on all of these car shows, auto shows, and
Relatable content.
And I had to sell my truck because of no kidding.
I'm sure it made it a little bit less taxing to not have to make that next payment.
Yes, it'll be very much less taxing to not make that next payment and not have $137 fucking a month car insurance payment.
$137?
$137 a month, yeah, for one car.
Mine,
brand new car.
I think this is horrifying because, like, mine for just the 2 cars now just went up again, and it's like $320. Like,
what?
I want to go choke whoever is underwriting these insurance policies. And it's like, I know, like, I've talked to people that live like a little bit further out in the Atlanta area, and it's like way cheaper. I know that I live like pretty close to the city center, and based on how I see these bitches drive.
Yeah, but you're like more on the outskirts anyway. I mean, I guess maybe it is state by state, but still.
I don't have 4 cars anymore, so that's a plus.
Sure. Oh my God, what was your insurance with 4? Are you?
I think I successfully blocked it from memory.
I can't believe I never asked you this.
I want to say it was damn near $600.
Well, no wonder you don't want to buy a new car because you already have a car payment. Like, Jesus.
No, literally.
Oh my God.
Literally. No, like, I like woke up one morning when I had all 4 of those cars, and I like looked at the bill, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And so I just was like, all right, this is not funny anymore. Like, I didn't need the 06 Accord, right? Like, that just kind of fell into my lap. And like, now she's with my brother living a continued pampered life because he's replaced like the shocks and the brakes and new tires on her, and she's just thriving, whatever. Miss Coupe, sold her to some Alabama twink, and she probably has an age 22 in her or whatever by this point, and good for her. And I am spending more time with my 1990 Accord than I have in quite a while, driving her around. Miss ML, obviously the hostess with the mostest. So excited to drive her up to Virginia, actually, because I love a good road trip. And, she's got her CD player and CarPlay and all that, so it'll be fun. When your insurance payment looks like a car payment, maybe rethink your life. And I'm glad I did.
Right.
Yeah.
I think my parents have 7 cars right now, and I don't even think theirs is even close to $600. But they also live in bumfuck nowhere, so.
And you see, that does make a difference.
Yeah. I am not the moan. I am getting I'm getting a press car tomorrow. Finally.
What is she?
My first press car of the year, a Nissan Z.
Ooh, do you know if she's automatic?
Yeah.
Manual?
Oh, that's a great question that I need to look up.
I feel like you don't see many of those. I've driven one at the Bridgestone event, and it was a stick shift, and I thought it was fun, but I feel like you don't see those on the road.
Ironically, saw one at Target today, and it was purple, and it was hot.
What if it was the car you're about to receive?
I doubt it. It had a vanity plate, and it was tinted, like well above OEM. But yeah, no, I cannot wait. I'm also getting BMWs this month, and I'm getting Hyundais and Subaru. I mean, I'm really I'm finally getting some more car. I'm getting more cars.
I'm so excited, Miss Girl. That's really fun.
Yeah, I'm stoked.
You're like, I just bought this Buick, and I'm not going to drive it for the next 2 business months.
Not for the next 2 fucking business. Actually, probably 4. Honestly,
I am so prappy. I'm so. I was gonna be proud, and then it turned into happy. I'm so prappy.
Oh my God! A new word alert.
New word alert.
Oh my God! Thank you for being prappy about my my continued success.
Prappy sounds a little too crappy.
It does sound like crappy. Well, I am super stoked for both of us. We're going to have a great weekend. You're going to serve pussy and cunt, and I'm going to serve backwards hat bro in my Nissan Z. So very exciting for us. We can continue our discussion on the New York Auto Show next week because there is more that I didn't even get to cover
Part
on
2.
this episode, but part 2. So thank you guys so much for listening to Fun Girly Car Time. We are going to end here. Chris's brain is turning into mush, and I am hungry. So anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. Please don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe on any and all podcast platforms. Our home channel is Spotify, but we are available on any and all platforms, including iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, etc. Speaking of Spotify, we do have our contributions open. So thank you to those who continually contribute to our program. And if you do want to contribute, you can go to spotify.com/fungirlycartime and contribute 99 cents a month, $4.99 a month, or $9.99 a month. Cancel it at any time. It goes right back into the podcast. I recently used it to, we had $30 from all of our contributors, and I used it towards our advertisement. And we were advertising in Canada and Germany, so that was cool. And shout out to YouTube. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing on there. Don't forget that we come out every other Monday at 9 a.m. whenever Mondays come around, and we have sat down to record an episode. So thank you all for your patience on that as well. Until next time, thank you. Stay safe. Douche before going to bottom. And Chris, do you have anything else to say?
Buy a Buick with a 3800.
Bye.
Bye.